Pardon an interruption, this is Troy Hill with the Star Chronicles. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're interested in making your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
The Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
Just Us Radio presents the Star Chronicles.
How about this, Cowboys?
Yeah! And goal. Elliott into the end zone.
Welcome back, Cowboys Nation. This is the Star Chronicles Cowboys Football Podcast, episode 12 with your host, Troy Hill. Great times here in the DFW area, Dallas, America, Earth, like I've been saying, all across everywhere. Everyone's been excited about the Dallas Cowboy win as the Cowboys slaughter the Philadelphia Eagles 37-10. But it would not be a podcast without my two favorite co-hosts, Lisa and the StarStruckFan. How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing well. On top of the NFC East right now.
Yes,
right?
indeed we are. How are you doing today, Lisa?
I'm doing well, but I'm very confused.
Very confused. Would you like to elaborate on your confusion?
Well, we all know I was confused and distraught and everything coming out of a week ago Sunday when we lost to the Jets. But, I'm thrilled with the win Sunday night. But then I didn't even watch the whole game last night where the Jets were playing because I wanted to watch a little bit to say maybe this Jet team is not as bad as I believed them to be. And I was wrong about that. They're every bit of hot garbage as I initially thought that they were. And so my questions then they resurfaced and they magnified. I'm back to how in the cornbread hell did we lose to the Jets? And so, it's really bugged me all day today. And my thing, we knew it was coaching. Let me rephrase that. I felt like it had something to do with coaching. And last night just proved it to me because we didn't make one adjustment for the things we knew going in, like injuries.
Mm-hmm.
We never really make in-game adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I'm just blown away. And I have this feeling in the pit of my stomach that Jets game may be one towards the end of the season that comes back to bite us in the rear end.
It could very well be. My overall opinion just about the game itself, I do agree. Oh yeah, we won the game, but there's still things that bother me, which I'll elaborate more on later, that shows to me, and don't get me wrong once again, and I hate that I have to get on the soapbox to say it, we're all Dallas Cowboy fans on this show. We love the Cowboys. We can be as critical as we want to. If you don't like it, deal with it. But this is still not a championship football team, and it might not be a playoff team at this particular point. What are your thoughts on that, Starstruck?
I think we got a shot at the playoffs. I do, thanks to the NFC East. But I do.
Oh yeah. If it was any other division, we'd be dead.
Yeah, but I do have some concerns, such as Lisa does, because of the simple fact, out of my observation, outside of the NFC East, who have we beaten? We've beaten the Dolphins. Garbage.
Yeah, I'm like waiting. Like, is there somebody else that we beat?
So
Why am I going through the
point-
schedule? Like, is there a whole game that I'm not even thinking of? Like, what?
So my point is, it seems as though we're having issues adjusting to teams that we're not familiar with, unless they're garbage. So that concerns me because we have a whole lot of teams coming up that we are unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
And if we cannot adjust during the course of the game, we're going to be in trouble. I don't know about anybody else, but the way the Patriots smashed the Jets, I'm concerned about that game when we play them, what that is going to look like as far as versus our defense. But I know that's down the road, so I'm not going to talk on that. But it concerns me with all the teams that we have coming up that we are not familiar with. It seems like we do very well against teams in our division that we know we play twice a year because we don't even look at game film. But it appears to me we don't look at game film against teams we're not familiar with.
It's very possible, but it's still, like when we were talking offline, I was bringing up the point because I know I mentioned a few weeks ago about why don't the Cowboys just take chances on defense and just blitz? What's the worst case thing that can happen? And then, Ron was like, well, I'm like, well, I know, we can get burnt, but it just seems like sometimes
But we did anyway.
Yeah, it's true. We're getting burned sometimes. We're not doing anything. So why don't you just want to take that chance? I mean, Sam Darnold looked like Sam Darnold again yesterday. And what was the reason why? It's because they kept constant pressure on him. They forced him to get rid of the ball quick. We gave Donald days to try and throw the ball in some instances. So I just don't understand why we don't take the risk. I mean, we're the Hot Boys, right? Yeah. Still, I wish they would pick a different name because that name is just dumb. Ooh, the Hot Boys are coming. I better be scared now. Please come up with a better name. But
I mean, I kind of liked it when we were playing well. I feel like now
I think that's what it is.
Bothers me. Although they did, I do feel like they tank. We finally had a tank sighting, which was several of them actually, but again, like Philly's got some issues too, and
yes,
it's the same way coming out of the Jets game though. Everybody, my non-Cowboy fan friends were like, "This is probably your biggest game of the season." Okay, fair. But we were in a no-win situation. If we won, now I think it makes more of a difference because it was a blowout win.
Yes, but let me ask you this question real quick. Okay, at the end of the show last week, we stated that this just can't be a win. It has to be a blowout, decisive. So it was a decisive blowout. Does anybody does anybody in this panel feel any better still?
I feel a little bit better.
Yeah, but
on a scale of 1 being how I was after we lost to the Jets, and 10 being if I'm hoisting the Lombardi Trophy in downtown Dallas during the parade, I'm at about a 2.5. Like I'm not where I was after the Jets, but
I know why you feel that way. But I'll hold my thought.
Well, see, like with me, it's like I'm like Miami Dolphin excited just a little more so because we beat the Eagles. Otherwise, if it was like the Sheboygan roof cleaners or whatever, I'd still be just laying there on my side like, a W. It's just something. It's like something odd. I don't know if it's because we're used to this experience where, Jason Garrett gets on this full-blown hot seat. Then all of a sudden he pulls through just for us to all get kicked into Jimmy and stuff at the end of the season. Is that what's kind of like holding us back a little bit? Because here's my thing. Jason Garrett is the child. Jerry Jones is the parent. Jason Garrett, the child, is a hard-headed asshole kid all throughout the whole year. Until the day before Christmas on Christmas Eve, because if he knows he does exactly what he's supposed to do, he's going to get a present the next day. And Jerry, the parent, he knows he's been a bad kid all year, and he's going to give him that present, even though he knows back of his mind, oh yeah, he's going to mess up again. This is the same thing almost, isn't it? I mean, it's just like a game. I don't get it. I mean, everything he does, we already know the things that he messes up on. We already know the things that he can't do. Well, he's going to put 3 or 4 games together in Jerry's mind. Well, everybody should be happy now. No, Jerry, we're not, because you're gonna lead us all the way down this path, this the tunnel of hope, and we're all gonna be walking down the tunnel of hope like the stupid people marching down Bourbon Street. I saw a video of that again like 2 days ago. It just made me sick again. I'm telling you, that was a curse from the football gods. The reason why we dropped 3, just because of them trying to take over an area. But I mean, we're in this tunnel. We're all excited. We're not. I mean. It's like you just get a sense of trains coming still. You can feel that track vibrating a little bit, like something's coming. So I just don't. It's like, again, I think Jason Garrett's a great guy. And I love the Dallas Cowboys to death. But I'm not going to be blinded by some nonsense. And this is still some nonsense to me. And I'm sorry. Mr. Garrett can go.
So you think he's a great guy?
I think he's a great guy, yeah. But he doesn't mean he needs to keep a job. There's a bunch of great people who still need to be employed.
Because I mean, I think of the compliment of a great guy. If it's somebody who's going to date your daughter, but we want this guy to win a Super Bowl. So yeah, I understand great guy. Great guy is something that you look for when you think, I think he'd be nice for my daughter. It's good. Great guy. Good guy. Well, true, somebody you work with in your office, that works well, good, works well with others in your office. That's a good guy. We need somebody that is football savvy, that can coach this team to a Super Bowl. Do we believe Jason Garrett is that guy?
No, because he should have already been that guy. If he was that guy, it would have happened by now. This is a decade into this. So what? We want to have the Marvin. We got the Dallas version of Marvin Lewis. I mean, they finally let him go last year, but there's a great guy. I mean, and there's people who sit there and talk about how great Marvin Lewis was, but it does not translate to anything. It might translate in the regular season, sure, but we're talking about the postseason. I don't understand why people are so obsessed with this whole mediocrity thing that we got to the playoffs. Yeah, so what? We're America's team. Our standard is higher. It has to be higher. I mean, now, what is your thoughts, Lisa? I'm sorry. We went on a tangent there for a second.
No, I mean, it's all the same. Like, I agree with everything. I mean, I think the win the other night, winning does make things better. As bad as I still feel like it is, and like you said, with teams that we're not familiar with, I don't feel like we solved anything except for that we played a really bad team.
And the thing is, we got rest and stuff coming up, which is great in the bye, and then we're going to play against another bad team that's in our division.
But at the same time, here's the thing.
We play twice a year.
Okay, but I am going to say this, and this is the argument I had with the Bears fan. The argument from him was, well, but Philadelphia's crappy. Fair. So were the Jets. We lost to them. So I'm going to take beating a crappy Philadelphia team than losing to a crappy Jets team. I'll take that every day. And I said to him, and then he tried to say, how many winning teams have you beaten? And I said, none. How many winning teams have you beaten? And he was like, I said, I'll give you the answer. It's 1. And I said, let me ask you something else. If the playoffs started today, who's in and who's out? I'm in, you're out. So as crappy as the wins are, as crappy as the teams are of the people that we're winning against, we don't dictate that our division is crappy. We got to play them twice. If that gives me 6 free wins, I'm in all day.
Yeah, no one argues about the no one argues
we can't
about
dictate
the
that we
Patriots
have.
with it.
Yeah, nope. We can't dictate that we have to play the AFC East this year. Again, I would have thought that would have been at least 2 free wins. Obviously, that turned into 1 so far. But, Buffalo, Thanksgiving, and the Patriots a couple weeks after that. But give me the crappy wins all day long. that will still translate to 10-6 or 11-5 if that's, what it turns into be. But I still, I do genuinely feel like something is not right, and it all stems from the top.
Well, I can tell you one thing is right or not right. Lack of discipline. I mean, I know some people I've been mentioning it like, here and there, but we've had 26 penalties for over 257 yards the last 3 games. We lead the league, not by much, but we lead the league in total yards of penalty yards at 535 yards.
Who's ahead of us? Is it a good team?
No. We lead the league in actual turnover yardage, but we don't lead the league in actual penalties. So I mean not turnover, penalty yardage. So we lead the league with 535 yards. And
so you know what that tells you? We don't have the most in just pure penalty count, but that means the ones that we are getting are large ones, i.e. roughing the passer,
which
pass
is
interference.
Stupid. I mean, the Jalen Smith penalty was stupid. They should be already know the flag's going to be thrown for that. He did not even have to do that.
He wasn't even. Now, I'm not going to let him. I mean, to me, that was a BS call from the officiating. Because I get it, but his arms, he is in the process of jumping, trying to deflect a pass. You're telling me that you're going to ask your linebacker to not try to knock that pass down, and then when his arm and forward momentum puts it in the vicinity, no, I'm not. I'm not going to call that discipline on his part.
You know what though? I agree with you. However, the rule is a rule, and our players on our team need to start realizing that the rule is the rule, because they still put themselves in those positions and then act shocked when a flag is thrown. How many times does that have to happen before they just get it? I mean, because that's where I'm at with it. I understand exactly what you're saying, which you're 100% correct, but still, at the same time, they know what the rule is. So why turn around, look all surprised that you got the flag? Because this has been going on for weeks now, and it's not going to change.
But on that very play, if he pulls up, then I'm on his ass for not finishing the play. And a lot of people are like, "What's wrong with Jalen? Why is he pulling up? Why is he not?" Blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's like, what gives?
Oh, I understand that, but that one play right there is what put everything in momentum for Philadelphia to put 7 points on the board, have me just sitting there thinking like, uh-oh. Because I was at uh-oh when we were up 14-7. Because it seemed like stuff like that changes momentum in football games. Mm-hmm. And when you got a team that, like we've all agreed, that can't make adjustments on the fly and do like other teams do, you get worried very, very quickly.
I wasn't comfortable until there was like a minute and a half left in the fourth quarter. And mathematically, I'm relatively smart. Mathematically, my brain knew there is no way in hell they can score 28 points in 4 minutes. But my brain and my heart would not let me relax till legit there was like a minute and a half to go.
Yeah. Because your heart has felt and your eyes have seen this team lose in the most creative ways known to mankind. We've literally lost a football game in any kind of way that you can imagine. We have done that. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why we're all like that. Yeah. But I mean, the penalties, I mean, to me, do you think penalties is the player or the coach or a combination of both? Because I see some people talking about like execution and all this. I mean, I think it's a bunch of damn phooey, to be quite honest. The coach is the one that's supposed to like instill discipline. He's supposed to like keep your players inspired.
Depends on the penalty. The one on Jalen, I'm not going to fault him on that one too much. I mean, he was making an aggressive play. He tried to make a play. Could he have taken a different approach to that? Maybe, perhaps, but I'm going to let him slide on that. Because he's trying to make a play. Mm-hmm. The ones that get me are the doggone holding penalties. That's the one that's really got me, because the offense is moving, and 9 times out of 10 is after we've gotten some type of first down.
Oh, yeah.
That then backs us up into like a 3rd and long situation. Then Oh, here come the people that, ready to hate on Dak when he can't convert a 3rd and long. Man, he threw it behind the receiver. Well, if we had 3rd and short, he probably wouldn't have had to throw so doggone far down the field.
Well, here's
to make a force a play.
Well, here's a good question for you. So far this season, Amari Cooper, he's 3rd leading in receiving in the NFL. Zeke is 5th, leading rusher in the NFL, which we all know that's going to end up changing. He's going to be creeping slowly up to the top. But Dak Prescott, 3rd leading passer in the NFL. I thought trash quarterbacks are not supposed to, especially going this deep into the season when we're in the mid-season. They should be nowhere. They shouldn't even be sniffing the top 15, top 20. So someone help me understand why Dak is trash. And
I'm not gonna help you on that part.
Because I'm serious. I don't know
that's a loaded gun.
Because to me, it just gets to the point where I just have to start wondering. I just wonder. It has to be more to it because the numbers are right there.
I'm gonna let Lisa take a stab at it first, and then I'll follow her.
Okay, what do you?
I got 99 problems on this team, but Dak ain't one.
Okay, again.
And that's all I have to say about that because he made tight throws the other night into windows that.
No, he was throwing some smoke.
Yeah, and they were on target, and I heard him. I don't know that I've ever heard him say "kill, kill, kill." I heard that several times, and he was. I felt like he was audibling out of plays, but not only was he audibling out, but then it seemed to be that the call, whatever call he made, whatever call he changed it to, seemed to be the right one. So yeah, y'all can miss me with all that. Dak is a problem. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the league.
Dak is being the best version of Dak he can be.
But I tell you what,
that's good enough for me.
I'm going out on the limb, and I will say of those 2 quarterbacks the other night, I know which one I would take.
Oh yeah,
and it's the one already on my team.
Exactly. And to go back to that stat real quick about Dak being 3rd in passing and Amari being 3rd in receiving and Zeke 5th in being 5th in rushing in the NFL. There's no other team in the league that has anybody like more than one player ranked in top of any of those categories. So that's saying a lot, even though we dropped the 3 games and stuff, which still irritates me. But even the people that question Zeke about, you better earn your payday, Zeke's earning his damn payday. Trust me, Zeke is earning it. So, let me go to the question again that I like to ask every single week. I got 2 questions this time.
Okay, but hold on. Starstruck he was going to let me take the Dak question, and then he had
okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Lisa.
I'm sorry.
I was just patiently waiting for my turn.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So, as I sat here and you were throwing out those numbers, I went back and reviewed our regular season schedule. I saw that we played the Giants in week 1.
Yes.
And if we're all fans of this team, we're very familiar with who we played.
Yes.
But I'm going to just review it anyway.
Okay.
The Redskins in week 2.
Yes.
Dolphins in week 3.
Yes.
Saints in week 4.
Yes.
Green Bay in week 5. Jets in week 6. Philadelphia in week 7. Out of all those teams, how many of those teams have a terrible defense? How many? Tell me. I'm going to allow you guys to answer the question.
I will say 1, 2.
All of them have a bad defense except for one.
Well, they credited the Packers with being at least a top 10 defense, and the Saints, I got to say, they're probably a little bit closer to top 5.
Mm-hmm. The Saints
were
so 2 of
Green Bay somewhere near the top
2 of those,
they're at least in the top 10, maybe 15 even.
Yeah, so 2 of those teams are considered as average as the rest.
So in those, with that being said, and looking at the other teams, Giants, Redskins, and whoever else we played, how many of those games should Dak have not thrown for close to 300 yards on those defenses? And Zeke not ran for 100 yards on those defenses?
Well, yes.
So to me, when I look at the stats, he should be where he should be. Honestly, if anybody's looking at that schedule, if he had only had about 1,700 yards passing right now, I'd be like, what in the world? So the fact that he is where he is in the number 3 spot, I can't argue with that. Honestly, I'd probably say he should have been higher. But, because the games, we didn't do quite as well with the Saints and, But I'm just saying, if you look at the schedule that we played so far, why shouldn't they be at the top of where they are statistically? So I'm not saying anything and saying Dak's not whatever. I'm just saying, looking at the schedule, it's hard for me to say, look at where he is. He's legit.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, but in that same context, though.
Yeah.
Again, going back to, we don't control the schedule. We don't control the suckiness of the teams that we play.
Exactly.
But, so, like, he's still coming in and doing, like you said, he is doing what he's supposed to do. And if he was as bad as the naysayers say he is, that would have shown up even against bad teams.
Yeah.
I don't know, because those teams are pretty bad.
I get it, but I understand that part. But I'm saying, okay, let me think of an example here. Carson Wentz. Would y'all agree that probably the Philly fans, or as I lovingly refer to them, the filthy fans, wouldn't you say probably that they thought Carson Wentz was probably a decent quarterback coming into this season? I mean, notwithstanding the injuries and all that. I mean,
I think
they probably thought they had a legit shot because he's under center.
To be quite honest, I think like the Philadelphia Eagles, for example, because I don't listen to Philadelphia news or Philadelphia sports, and the franchise in my mind is basically completely a joke, and nobody even remembers their Super Bowl. I don't. Their only legitimate champion is Rocky Balboa. That being said,
you're missing my whole point,
though, I think that their fan base goes through a lot of the same stuff that we go through.
Okay, I totally get that. Totally get it. But what I'm saying is, coming into this season, they believed, and if not the fan base, for sure the organization, or they would have never let Nick Foles go. But so they believe that he is good enough to get them to a championship. Okay. So he's played a crappy schedule too. But what we saw against us the other night, we have not seen that from Dak.
No.
So, like, what I'm saying is, even though the schedule from who we played defensively has been relatively easy, Dak still hasn't. He's not proving any of the naysayers right. He's proving. I feel like he's taking care of business enough. Yes, you still have to pay him probably top 5 quarterback money.
Oh yeah, that was my question. Do we still all agree pay Dak? I got my hand raised. I got both hands raised up.
We put ourselves in a situation. You got to pay him.
Yeah.
We already put ourselves in that situation. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, I saw one post saying before the game started, if you let Dak pass the ball this game, or if Dak passes the ball, you will not win games. I'm sitting there thinking, like, obviously you're a fair weather fan because you must not watch the first 3 games where he went lights out and just went ate crap and just start chucking the ball all over the field. So, anyways, it's like the little funny things you see. I got another question. This will probably be a question we'll be adding on as the show goes on for the next several weeks. Fire Garrett or keep him? I still say fire.
You got to keep him now, and he won't be fired.
Well, yeah, I know. Let's go ahead and take one step back. When we say fire on this program, we don't mean fired this year, because him being fired this year is technically not him being really fired, because there's still going to be somebody from the staff that's going to be coaching. So it's still basically it's basically like his footprint.
Here's my hot sports opinion on this.
Oh, Lord.
He will not be fired in the middle of the season unless we rattle off about 8 straight losses.
We're already past that.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's
but
not going to be
like
fired.
that's how drastic it's going to have to be.
Yeah.
Where they're going to have to add a whole nother game, and we're going to have to lose all 8 of them.
He's safe.
But so the thing about it is, I do believe that here's the scenarios. If we don't make the playoffs, he's gone. If we do make the playoffs and we lose in round 1, he's gone. The only way he is still coaching this team at the beginning for next season is if we get to the NFC Championship and put up a fight to almost get to the Super Bowl. Anything less than that, I think he's gone.
Yeah, my hand is raised whenever Troy is done.
Okay, no, go ahead and speak.
First, Garrett is safe because he made it to the bye week. We're not going to fire anybody after the bye week. I don't believe that's going to happen. He made it when we won, and he made it to the bye week, which is this upcoming week. He is now safe for the remainder of the season. Mm-hmm. He will not, in my opinion, be officially fired from this team. If we do not, according to what Lisa said, we do not make the playoffs, we get exited in the first round, or do not make it to the Super Bowl or NFC Championship, whatever, he's going to step down. He's going to step down. They are not going to fire him. Jerry's not going to say we are going in a different direction. Jason Garrett is going to come out. They're going to write it some type of way. You just need to tell the people you've been here, whatever, how many years, and just step down. Just say, I'm resigning as coach. I'm stepping down. Family
my
reasons.
My hand is raised when you get done. My hand is
my
raised.
dog is sick. Something is he's going to say. My dog, I love this dog for so many years. Something's going to happen. He's going to address it. He's going to step away.
Is he going to sound like a robot when he does it like all the time? He's going to be like, it was a while.
He's going to read the Romo script. He's going to read the script that Romo read. Time has come. I've spent a lot of time away from my family.
This is a meritocracy, not a blah, blah, blah.
And he's going to step away from it all.
Let me tell you something right now. If I'd had a buzzer, I'd have buzzed in. If this scenario comes to fruition, do you understand? There's a meal. It can be all. I'm the only single one in this bunch. It can be 5 of us. Where you can pick where you want to go.
Ooh.
And my thing is, do you understand what a joke, even more so, Jerry Jones will be if this is what comes to fruition?
You're probably right. But
that you have a $5 billion with a B dollar organization, and you can't whip it out and put it on the table and fire somebody?
Mm-hmm. Not gonna fire him.
Lord, sweet baby Jesus be offense. If that's really what happens, you just made my blood pressure go up thinking that's good. We will be the joke of the league. Not we, because
too much respect for me. Won't fire.
Wow. Talk about a hot sports opinion.
Yeah, I like that.
Holy moly.
I like that. And I hope that you're right. So that's something else we can sit there and lay back on next year and stuff. See, we call it like it is here, people. But anyway.
I have never thought about that. And I would not be shocked at all.
And please post to the chat, those that are following us, places of recommendation for dinner options for StarStruck.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah, the last time I lost a bet to Troy, he didn't take good advantage of that. I got him a gift card to Red Lobster.
Well, sorry, Red Lobster's my spot. Sorry, me.
That's your jam.
Me and Kaiser enjoyed it. we were happy. But there is back to the coaching talk. There is like a lot of talk, about the statement that was made by Urban Meyer. Which, I mean, what is your guys' take on that? Because I have a take on it. And I'm trying to explain it to people, and it's like they just don't get it. I mean, I think the man was talking basically in hypothetical. I don't really think he was setting up anything, because any coach on a show like that would say that. Am I right?
Oh, sweet Lord. Do you not think for 1 second that all he had to do, he did not say, I mean, that's a job I would take if it was offered to me. But by him talking about Lincoln Riley and saying, well, I mean, if that job comes up, that's a job you can't turn down. The implement, I almost made up a whole word.
Yeah.
What he's implying in that regard is, hey, look, I'm not coaching right now. If it were to be offered to me, I'd be available and probably could take it mid-season.
I take it like this. If that was the equivalent of me saying, well, yeah, if Halle Berry called and asked me to be out on a date, or if Halle Berry called and said, would you like to go out on a date? I would say yes. That's what that was to me. It's like a hypothetical, something that's not going to happen anyways.
But it's something in the background that if you were asked, you're thinking in the back of your mind, boy, if she did call me, you're thinking in the back of your mind.
No, it's just, to me, it's just, that's what they're like implying, though. I mean, it's just a hypothetical. If I want...
but everything's a hypothetical, but he didn't come out and say...
If I won $1 million, I'd go buy me a Bentley tomorrow. If...
Yeah, but you got to... I'm the resident... Well, I don't know. I mean, Starstruck watches quite a bit of college football, but Urban... When I told you that in the group chat or whatever, Urban is that smart. And if you'll notice, the chatter immediately shot to 1 billion. I mean, like it just went over the top. At first, it was just the ones that we have put in the bucket of not so smart, thought it was truly about Lincoln Riley. Then you have a little bit smarter, but still not so smart. They were like, holy crap, Urban Meyer just said he wants to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. But it started. I even saw an article yesterday that said something, blah, blah, blah. Urban Meyer chatter dwindles as Cowboys blow out Eagles. He did exactly what he intended to do because the seed was planted in this fan base. Well, good, bad, or indifferent. I guarantee you that wasn't just hypothetical.
I'll tell you what he was really saying when she's done.
Until the offer comes.
I'll tell you what he was really saying when she's done.
I'm done.
Okay.
This is what he was really saying. If you can't get Lincoln Riley, I'm available.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
that's what he was saying.
Okay. Well,
that's where I'm going to leave it.
Let's put on this spin here because everybody seems like they want to try and get like this college coach or the next big thing and all this other type of stuff. Why? Because historically, college coaches have not been that successful. Like some of the big name college coaches have not been that successful in the NFL, excluding like the Pete Carroll and the Jimmy Johnsons of the world, stuff like that. But I mean, we got a long list of college coaches that were successful that didn't do nothing in the NFL. Steve Spurrier, Butch Davis, Nick Saban. I mean, the list goes on and on. So why are we obsessed with trying to get this guy out of the college ranks?
Can I answer that when you're ready?
Absolutely.
Go ahead and answer. Go ahead.
Because he's interested.
He's different.
Who else is saying right now they want to come coach the Cowboys, or they're available, or
that
remotely
mean anything,
have shown?
Though. I mean,
it does, because you don't have any other options. Yep. And if this guy's available and Garrett's no longer the answer, or you felt that he's no longer the answer, or he stepped away, or you fired him, which I don't think is going to happen. But if Jason Garrett is no longer in the equation, who else is there if Lincoln Riley does not take the job?
I understand that, but it doesn't always make it a good idea. You could drive your car off your feet if you wanted to. It doesn't make it a good idea.
I don't think I ever said it was a good idea.
Okay.
I just said, I said he's interested, and he said he's available. In so many words.
I mean, how do we know? How do we know it, Bob?
You're talking about Urban, not
Urban Meyer. He said he's available in so many words, and he has said that he's interested. That's what makes him a strong candidate.
You want to know who I think the college coach is the most realistic to coach the Cowboys?
Dabble?
Huh?
No, that was my inside voice. Golly, you got to.
Hello, I'm Troy Hill with the Star Chronicles Cowboys Talk podcast, sponsored by Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place, free, which you can use right from your phone or computer with creation tools that allow you to record and edit to get your show sounding glorious. They'll even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So what you need to do is download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Did I mention it was free?
Control that inside.
No, it's the coach is coaching this soon to be bankrupt XFL team. It's going to close down probably in the first 3 or 4 games of the season. Yeah, that's probably.
Come on.
I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious. If I'm saying if he was end up being a head coach for the Cowboys, I would not be surprised. Not saying that I'd like it, but I would not be surprised at all. I'm just saying. I'm saying, so that's my hot sports opinion, and I'm saying I don't like it, but don't be surprised. I'm just saying.
I can't even shoot you down right now, but I want to. So I'm just gonna sit on it for right now.
I know. You're gonna have to sit on it.
I don't like the way
thing.
that sounded. I don't like the way that sound. Maybe that's what's unsettling me.
I know, but I'm telling you, would you be surprised, seriously, right now, knowing the man?
Right now, I don't think I'd be surprised at anything because it's like you don't even know what's going to come out of that front office at certain points.
That's the other thing. I'd be more surprised. I would be more surprised of a Lincoln Riley or Urban Meyer. Bob Stoops? Nope. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'd be like, no, that's Jerry.
I kind of would, only because he's been available for 2 or 2 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But as far as the Lincoln Riley thing goes, why, and I think we talked about this in the private, in our little group chat, why would he leave Norman where he is basically the
king,
de facto mayor of Norman? He can do short of him having 14 losing seasons in a row. Would never get that far, but
the man can do anything he wants. I saw.
He's making a bucket load of cash.
Yeah,
and they've already given him like 2 big raises. And if they somehow slip into the playoffs this year or win the national championship, when I tell you they will be backing Brinks trucks up by the dozens to keep him in Norman,
they are.
Why would you leave that to come here where you're going to have to be a yes man?
Yeah, it's too much money tied into him.
I can answer that too.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't care how many Brinks trucks you pull up to that stadium. You never going to outcount Jerry Jones if he's serious and really wants to get you.
No.
There ain't enough trucks there ain't enough trucks that can out-truck Jerry Jones if he really wants that guy. That guy's going to have to flat out tell him, no, I'm not interested. Because Jerry's going to say, what's your number? In the famous words of a famous once guy, WWE style, Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man, once famously said on many of occasions, every man has their price.
Money. Man, I love Ted DiBiase. Lisa's lost. She doesn't know Ted DiBiase.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, you got all silent and stuff. I mean, he was excellent.
She was just chewing on it.
I'll have you know, one of the Funk brothers was in my uncle's wedding.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Did it have like a wrestling match or anything? Was that the reception?
I think so. Yes.
That's awesome. But no, I mean, I agree with Ron on that standpoint that yes, he can do what he's the man. He has all the money. But I'm just saying, don't be surprised. You got, we'll just see how everything plays out. I'm just seeing. I just don't understand why Bob Stoops is sitting there taking a position to not coach for a couple of years, and all of a sudden hop up into the XFL. That doesn't make sense to me at all. In Dallas, that doesn't make sense neither. Maybe he has like a little rust he's trying to shake off for the big leagues.
Well, you know what would have to happen for that to happen.
I would have to be right about Jason Garrett getting fired.
I mean, there would have to be absolutely nobody of strong interest available for him to land that job. That's my opinion. Lincoln Riley, no Urban Meyer, nobody else.
There's
unknown.
There's not going to be strong interest because it's Jerry. This is not some other Joe Schmo
That's
team.
what I'm saying. He would have to be third candidate. Is you called and nobody else answered the phone. They weren't home or whatever, and you just couldn't get a response back for Stoops. He would be the third candidate, I would believe, as of right now, since nobody else I've seen is surface other than Lincoln Riley, Urban Meyer. He would have to be the strong third candidate right now. If nobody else is available, it'd have to be.
But
where's Bob's number?
You see what's happening, Lisa? You see what's happening? Now Bob Stoops was doubted at first, but now he has a ranked number, even though it's third.
I didn't doubt it. I said I didn't feel comfortable shooting it down. I didn't doubt it. Never did doubt it. I didn't want to admit to it.
Because you can see in the distance like I can, friend, and
Yeah, he's playing right down the street, starting in February.
Yep, for no reason whatsoever but to get a little of that ring rust off.
I would love for Dabo to come here, but I don't want Dabo to have to deal with that. I love Dabo way too much.
Dabo's not coming here.
No.
Yeah, he's too strong in his faith to work up underneath Jerry Jones.
To work up under the devil.
I mean,
maybe Dabo could come and break the curse.
Because this is a curse. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. It's a curse.
Dabo ain't coming out of here. Dabo's hands would be full.
The curse was
Jerry Jones would be one of his worries.
The curse was almost lifted until the football god saw the idiots marching down Bourbon Street.
Yeah, and I don't believe that at all. I don't have any issue with the Bourbon Street stuff.
I do. I think it was just ridiculous. That's the reason why there's a Stephen A's and people like that.
But okay, so now I have a question for you.
Yes,
I have because this seems kind of you seem to be real geared in on that one game, but this fan base does it in every city they go to.
Yeah, I guess. I just didn't need to see all that on videotape and stuff.
But if you look, it's there for every away game.
Just other cities don't happen to have a Bourbon Street. It just made it look the way it did.
They'll all be at one hotel, or they're all going to one area, like like here it'd be they're all going to meet at the Star, or they're all going to be in Uptown, or they're all going to be at Texas Live. Whatever that looks like, they're all in one place, and they're calling it the takeover. They call it, so it happens every single away game. And I don't know what all these people do for a living, and if they even have furniture in their houses, because to afford to, although I will say the game tickets actually at away games are much cheaper than they are here.
Oh yeah.
By about a third.
Oh yeah.
So,
but you know what?
Standing room only tickets aren't too bad here either.
That's an interesting topic we can have next week, Lisa, because it's a bye week. And I think that's something that should be discussed on the show.
Ticket prices, and just how it just seems like, how do these people pull that off? Because some people are doing it like every single week, it seems like. They're somewhere, Well, and it's not just that it's not like they're running, like, it's not like me going, like if we were playing in New Orleans, from Dallas to New Orleans, you could drive that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but you could.
No, I wouldn't either.
But these are like people coming even to the game on Sunday night. People flying in from like New Jersey and the, Midwest. I mean, like having to fly and get a hotel and the game tickets here on top of it.
And
I know what I paid.
And the drinks ain't cheap in that stadium neither.
No. And I know what I paid for my playoff tickets.
$8 bottle of water.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. I mean, I have, friends that bartend and stuff like that. And it's unbelievable. It's insane.
Yeah, I do have something, though, once we get through this stuff that I really want Troy to answer for me.
Okay, sure.
Once we get through all of this.
Sure. I'm looking at you right now with fully attention.
Yes.
What you got?
Yes. Cowboys offense.
Yes.
Why was it different? Why did it look different to us in this game? What was the difference?
Well,
please explain.
Okay, what was the difference? In my eyes,
did it look like, because you said before, this looks like the same. First of all, did it look the same to you this past Sunday?
For the most part, yes. It did look the same. I think it goes. Really? I think no, because I was going back to when we were talking about Eagles and Cowboys and the comparisons about how they're very similar. I'm not 100% sure that the Philadelphia Eagles are preparing for much any damn thing these days either. Because there's enough tape out there to show that you need to keep pressure on Dak. Why didn't they do it? And that defensive coordinator they got is infamous for applying pressure on people. So I have a bunch of different questions. I still think it was the same. It looked like the offense it did basically in the games that they won. So it might appear like a little bit different because the teams that they played against just didn't prepare for it or didn't react to it. But I didn't see anything that much different. I mean, we did run the ball more, yeah, which is always good. It seemed like, the defense or the offensive line played better. Well, I mean, we had a healthy line or a somewhat healthy line compared to the Jets game. So
we had a naked bootleg on the goal line. And we had a pitch to Tavon Austin.
But that's 2 plays.
There was a shovel pass, too.
Yeah, but that's 2 plays, and that was a nice shovel pass I saw earlier in the game. But that's not a big enough change in the playbook, is it? I mean, they were successful plays, so yes, obviously. But excluding a few plays, it still looks basically the same.
I don't know. Something just looked a little different. And I even saw Jason Garrett swinging at Kellen Moore, kind of hitting him, patting him on the stomach like, man, that was good. It just seemed like maybe the playbook got opened up a little bit more for Kellen Moore and the hands got off. I didn't see as much of Jason Garrett's fingerprint on this game as I had seen in the first several games.
Well, I'll agree with that, but I didn't see that really in the first couple of games when they were winning neither. Which makes everything confusing, right? Because if you're doing something that supposedly works the first 3 games, why aren't you sticking to the same thing?
But this goes back to my argument. You can't have the same freaking offensive scheme for every freaking team because different teams are going to have different defensive schemes. And as a coaching staff, you have to be prepared for that.
You know the only team that could do that?
The Patriots.
No, the 90s Dallas Cowboys.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the 90s Dallas Cowboys, they could run whatever the hell they wanted.
Patriots get no credit on this radio station.
No, they're not.
Sorry, my bad.
No, they're not.
Very little, I should say. Very little, because we will mention them from time to time. So very little, I should say.
Yeah, I mean.
But I can tell you the difference in that, the first few games, I believe the playbook, Troy, I go ahead and admit, I think it was very similar. Jason Garrett had a heavy influence in that. But I think there were some people under fire this past week that if we don't get it done, we don't look a little bit different this week, and we lose this game, things going to get a little tight around here on the campus. Yep. And I believe that even though it may have only been a few plays, it could have only been 3 plays different. It was released that you do what you need to do, but we better do something.
Yes, but
on Sunday night.
Absolutely, but that brings
we didn't have that pressure the first 3 weeks. We didn't have that kind of pressure.
But that brings me to the point. What does it take to inspire and motivate this team? You should never get to the point where people are wanting you fired for you to do the things that you know that obviously work. So
how long has Garrett been the head coach? We've been under that Incredible Hulk mentality for how long now? We have to wait till we get mad before we do something.
That doesn't win championships.
That's why we haven't been winning any, Troy.
Yeah, that wins. That wins.
Go
that wins. No,
Wait, did you
Go
get
ahead,
a
Lisa,
Lombardi
your
trophy?
I'm
no.
tagging you in. I'm tagging you in the ring now, Lisa.
Wait.
I'm tagging you in.
Getting mad, that just wins you one game, and then you're off hitchhiking on the side of the street like Bill Bixby at, like David Banner at the end. Another reference to some 80s television. I told you I'd get one in there. But, okay, go ahead, Lisa.
I mean, you said that's what it takes to win championships, or that's why I don't even know what you said. Something about championships now. I got so flabbergasted. That's exactly why. But the thing about it is, so who was doing the threatening? Jason? Was he going to threaten to let Kellen step down, or was he going to try to say that Kellen's job was on the line?
But we know Jason don't have no controls. We know that wasn't the case.
Yeah, Jason's just sitting in a corner, when they're having their conversation.
So
watching.
you think there were threats probably to Jason, like, look, it's got to look better, different, whatever.
I think
somebody's going to be, maybe not.
I think Jerry talked to all the coaching staff in some sort of meeting or roundabout way. Chris Richard, Kellen Moore. I don't know how it got said, if it was in an email or what, a letter to somebody's house. Everybody was fired up.
Please let it be a letter to somebody's house.
Yeah, but I just don't understand why it takes all of that to get to that point. Does it really?
Because there's never, for what?
Does it really?
There's never been any consequences.
Does it really take the head coach to say something for Tank to get all upset and mad and stuff? Does it take all this stuff for? This has got to come up with the nickname for the defense. Mm-hmm. I mean, so why does it take all this extra added stuff? It's like
because we're not being held accountable on a weekly basis.
There's no repercussions for mediocrity. Mm-hmm. They look at this franchise and they're like, Jason's never. Jason knows he's not going to get fired. If Jason's not going to get fired, then I'm probably not going to get fired. Or maybe I will as the coordinator, but maybe not. And then as the players, my coaches aren't getting fired. So, I'm under contract. So even if I do get fired, they're still going to have to pay me. There's no consequences.
We got to find that Troy Aikman soundbite, Troy, and get it up on the page where Troy Aikman is going off on the sideline about Barry Switzer.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
He wishes he didn't have to be the coach and the quarterback. That one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Garrett was under Jimmy Johnson for one season, correct, as a backup?
Yeah. I think so.
Why didn't
one? Let's see.
Was it one or two?
I think he was more than just one season.
I think it was probably only one.
Before the transition to Switzer.
I think he wasn't he already an assistant? I don't know.
Oh, you mean coaching-wise?
No, I'm talking, I'm talking about player-wise. Because I'm just wondering that any of this it's obvious that none of the stuff from Jimmy Johnson rubbed on Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of curious
he was
about
there
that.
He was there from 93 to 99.
Okay, so he did get one season, right? Mm-hmm. So he got one season. Well, I guess that's probably just not enough.
Well, under Jimmy Johnson?
Yes.
Because Jimmy Johnson was there since 89.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he left in, 94?
Oh, yeah.
So he had one season.
Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah, got you.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering,
No, he had 5 seasons.
So it's like no influence, really, on him. I just don't. He's just a weird guy. He's just a weird guy. And he's just really, really smart. Mm-hmm. Really, really book smart. And the thing is, again, we've been down this road before. Mm-hmm. We get our hopes up, and it just still seems like we're on that same recipe. That you're going to do enough to keep the fans happy, and then all of a sudden pull the plug. Not necessarily pull the plug intentionally, but just get complacent again.
But who's happy? I'm not happy. Y'all aren't happy. I'm happier.
No, there's some people that are happy, claiming Gary, supreme ruler of the earth or whatever.
Well, and there was some other influences in there too now, because Jason Garrett not only had just a little bit of time under Jimmy, But then he had some time under Bill Parcells as well. And so I think that probably has something to do with Jerry felt as like, hey, I can maybe recapture some of this from a player that played, had some sort of influence from Jimmy and some from Bill, two of our, for the most part, most successful coaches,
Also got the opportunity to pick the brain of Troy Aikman.
And I think that's why he fit the bill for a good candidate, because we're getting back to that again. We're going to be limited on candidates once again if he ever is removed. And we were limited then. We were limited.
We're going to be limited as long as Jerry is still the de facto GM. That's it.
I mean, look at all the coaches we've had. Ooh, goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness. Dave Campbell and Chan Gailey.
You talk about a bucket of hot garbage now.
Parcells.
Wade Phillips was probably, one of the good ones behind Parcells and Jimmy. Switzer, of course, it's hard to give him a whole lot of credit because what he walked into.
Yeah, it's like I feel sorry for Switzer for that too, because he was a good coaching. I mean, he's a good coach, but when you got like that much talent, it's kind of hard.
He was Urban Meyer to me. He was Urban Meyer. He's exactly what I see Urban Meyer as being. Legendary coach, unemployed at the time. We need a coach.
No, but
couldn't get probably who we really wanted. But I know they were actually talking a little bit more with Barry throughout the season. But this reminds me so much.
But let's correct the thought.
Barry Switzer.
Let's correct the thought process a little bit. A system was in place when Barry was here. All that other the nuts and bolts of the organization was in place, and of course we had the players. You bring in Urban Meyer right now. Yes, we got all the nuts and bolts as far as the players on the field, but do we necessarily have all the bells and whistles of the upper organization supposed to have to get everything running on full cylinder? So it's still kind of different.
No, it's not. The front office is exactly the same.
Well, I don't. To me, I don't know. Is it the same?
No. There's no. It's still Jerry, Stephen, and Jerry Jr. in Charlotte.
But we had
That's a fact.
But we had our stuff together. We were winning Super Bowls. We haven't won anything. So in essence, it is.
This is a good team.
Ooh,
Troy.
I'm not gonna let you go out like that.
Don't let the devil tell you anything different. This is a good team. We just don't have the coaching in place right now. Don't let it be told any different to you, Troy. This is a good team in place. Urban Meyer did not lie. Zeke, you got a quarterback, running back, tight end. You got a defense that's pretty decent, minus the safety. Still got some issues there. But you got some good pieces to work with.
Of
you
course,
get in a good coach.
There's some good players, yes. But we're not Barry Switzer coming off of a Super Bowl with a bunch of people that were always motivated and didn't need to have press material on their wall or social media or any of those type of things to get somebody motivated.
Because none of that existed back then.
And we didn't win a Super Bowl immediately when he took over.
Well, I know that's true. But
so he did have some influence the following season to get a little bit things in place, a little bit in the second year. A couple of free agent moves to kind of help out in that next go around the following year.
Yeah. I mean,
there were some issues in that first season.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seemed like things were more streamlined then, but it was a different league then. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't have that level of excitement about, it'd be great. It'd be something fresh. It'd be something new. But after that all fades away, then what do you really got?
You may be back to the drawing board, but I would feel much better about things if you're at least making an effort to do something, to quit running in circles, chasing your own tail, expecting a different result.
Well, we've been doing it the last 5 seasons. I mean, we're still forgetting about how we're great one year. We dip down the next year.
What are the constants? Tell me about the constants. And if they changed, I'll let you know how I feel about that.
Well, let's see. We got Jason Garrett in there. That hasn't changed. Also, offensive coordinator has changed, but we don't know the tail of the tape of that yet.
Technically, entitled, technically, but hasn't.
We got like about 4 or 5 defensive coordinators calling plays apparently now. which just doesn't make no damn sense to me whatsoever.
We still can't hardly stop nobody.
No, we're still a Civ, but we're the Hot Boys. There's so many cool Star Wars names, or comic book like
we're not going into renaming the defense right now.
God, does it have to be the Hot Boys?
Yes, it does.
I guess
for now.
I guess. Well, bye week next week.
Praise the Lord.
There will be a podcast next week. We're going to talk random things about the Cowboys. We're going to talk about, I don't know. I asked a question on social media today: who would be, if you could make your own Cowboy Mount Rushmore, what 4 players or coaches would be on that? So that's something we could talk about. We'll have a bunch of different things we'll talk about next week during the bye. Does anybody?
I like bye weeks.
I do too, especially with this team. They need to get some rest, but don't be looking for them to be going out full steam and stuff against the Giants the following week, because you know how they like to start off slow after a bye week. But I just want them. Hopefully, they'll prove me wrong for once. But they always start slow after a bye.
I think we're good against the Giants, though.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be good.
It's the NFC East team.
Yeah, we got.
They're
in theory.
Yeah, we got.
I thought we were gonna get some Jets too.
Yeah,
Clearly, I was misinformed.
Well, we got.
They're not in the NFC East.
No, yeah, we got.
Fair.
Yeah, we got.
Fair point.
Yeah.
We're not very familiar with them, apparently.
Yeah. Half the star is filled up with Redskin, Eagles, and Giants film. So yeah, they got their stuff to study and stuff. But it was a great show. Cowboys won. Everybody's excited. We still have questions. We just hope everything just gets tightened up in this bye week for real. I mean, they got still things that they got to work on. They did do better tackling and stuff the other night, so that was a good thing too. People seemed like they were in better place and stuff. And thank you for them actually starting Lewis. What took you so long?
Yes, thank you for mentioning that.
Well, because Anthony Brown was
Jordan
hurt. That's
Lewis.
the only reason.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they're
better
going back
get
to him
fired
now.
if they can't now. I don't know who he has to replace. I don't know who's better / worse between Cheeto and Anthony Brown, but one of them has to get.
I don't know. All they need to do is get Wilson and Olumbo on, and I'll be happy.
Man, we got an interception out of Lewis one week, and we got a sack out of him another week. He's one sack away from, I won't say the term. Yeah, I will. From becoming a hot boy, right? It was a two sack minimum, I think, to become a hot boy.
That's the jump in. That's the jump in fee. Well, Tank barely made it in. Where's Tank at for sacks now? 3.5?
I think he's at 3.
3? Oh, okay. Robert Quinn.
He should be at about 6 right now, I believe.
I only saw the stat for his career. He went past the 75 mark, so that was kind of cool.
Nope, the defense is not there really. So LVE injured, should be probably good to go and stuff by the time after the bye week's over.
Yeah, Quinn's at 6. Yep.
Quinn's 6. Wow,
Yep.
that is great. That's some high value right there.
Playing for a contract.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. Yeah, we know the tail of the tape on that. But
can I ask one question real quick for us to talk about? We can talk about it next week.
Sure.
Is Byron Jones still on this team?
Yeah, he's on the team.
Okay.
And I only know that because there aren't any receivers catching any touchdowns. We're not getting any interceptions either off that side of the field, but nobody's catching much either as far as scoring and getting in the end zone.
Yeah, so is that a good thing not to hear his name then?
Yeah, it is, because that means he's not getting beat.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Because the guy for the Saints, he had a whole lot of catches, but he never scored. He did have a lot of catches, though. He had like 10 catches.
Oh, Michael Thomas.
Yeah, Michael Thomas had a whole lot of catches, but he never scored. There's been a lot of people catching a lot of stuff, but ain't nobody scoring
through
the air.
Take it back.
Is that bend don't break? It'll break before the end of the season's over.
They
Yeah.
broke against the Jets.
It's that not
what it
looking
is.
back for the
Yeah.
football either when it's in the air.
That's the thing.
There's a lot.
Holy moly.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It seems like there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
But I defended these guys at the beginning of the season because some of these guys, they were in position. They had their hands up. Receivers just a little bit taller. I mean, that's all you can ask for your cornerback to do is just be in position, get your hands up, try and put the ball down. But if it's a perfect thrown pass and the guy's like 2 or 3 just taller than you, he's going to catch the ball regardless of what you do. You know, unless you're Dion or Rod Woodson. But
The thing is, though, we ain't got a whole lot of like receivers like that, especially that we played in the first several games of the season.
yeah, that's true. There's not a lot of them in the league anymore at all, is there?
Yeah, I mean, who we played so far other than Michael Thomas?
Are you talking about receivers?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Big
tall,
time receiver.
yeah,
That he's
tall.
saying tall, lanky. They're snatching stuff out of there. Who we played like that so far other than Michael Thomas coming close
Yeah,
to
that's
that
it.
characteristic? So there's no reason why we should not have had picks. And who are the quarterbacks we've been playing against?
Sam
Yeah, there's no
Darnold.
reason. There's really no reason.
God, you said Sam Donald like it was like a lame sandwich or something.
Redskins, Giants,
Sam-
Dolphins. No
Sam-
reason why
Sam Donald.
we shouldn't have had multiple picks, several picks.
It's true, but we're just not that team. Well, thank God we got Chris Richard on our team to teach the players how to get turnovers and picks.
I detect some I
Ooh, that
feel
was
like I
silence.
detect some
Wow, that's
sarcasm.
silence.
Am I right,
Silence that
everybody?
came from me.
Am I right?
That's silence.
He's still a yeller. Hasn't showed me much
Ooh.
anything.
Since we said that, though, it's free agency time.
Yes,
We're about not free agency time. I apologize. The trade deadline.
Yes.
So, no turnovers. Any safeties out there right now?
There's only one that I really want.
There's only one that I want to, and I finally got a chance to see what all the talk and everything was about.
Because I saw the post we got out there about you're the GM or whatever this team. What moves do you make? We've got the trade deadline.
I'm going for
right here.
I'm going for Adams.
I sell myself right to the devil for Jamal Adams to play here.
Yes,
I'll
I'm
be like,
going
you know
for
what, devil?
Adams.
I'm tired of this curse.
I'm gonna go
I
in.
can't beat it on my own, so
and
let's go.
And this is exclusive stuff from Troy because this is going against every rule that I have. I'm gonna give up that first for Adams. damn right I am.
Ooh.
Damn right I am.
I feel like there were 2/3 of us that said that about 3 weeks ago, and then we had to get the other third on board last week.
That brings up another topic of discussion for the next show as well. That teams that are more willing to give up number one picks versus other teams that give up lesser picks. Like, I had a discussion with somebody about that, about why the teams that typically throw out number one picks like that are usually desperate and usually don't see much return when they do that versus teams that give up like a third or sixth round pick for somebody. I really want to put that on the next show. That's just going to cause too much of a conversation.
Yeah, we can
chat it up outside and then bring it back and see if it holds a lot of weight for the next show.
Okay, and I think this is a perfect part to end everything. I will say the Rams gave up way too much with their situation for Ramsey. Did we cover that last?
How did his back miraculously heal?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he should get fined from the league just for that.
100%. I 100% agree.
But like I said, next week's going to be a very, very unique show. We're going to have just like field questions. If you listen into the show, don't hesitate to ask us some questions. We'll address them on the show next week. But on behalf of myself, StarStruckFan, and Lisa, we bid you guys adieu. Can you guys say goodbye to the people?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yay for the bye week.
Happy bye week. Yep.
Happy bye week. And we'll holla. Go Cowboys.